Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Trek Canon. So, have you ever had one of those moments where you're looking at a sci-fi show and you say to yourself, "Self, how is this possible? This ain't making no sense. What's going on here?" And you decide to have your own inner monologue rant. I figured that I would do, I'm just starting a series on just some of the inconsistencies that I thought was just way too out of control to not mention it and make some videos about. And plus, this would be right up my alley because I'm canon, man. I'm actually Trek canon. But why should I limit this to just Star Trek, man, when there are so many outstanding sci-fi shows out there that I could give this treatment to? And speaking of, let's start off with it. This is what I'm talking about. If you guys remember the episode Gridlock from Doctor Who, right? Look, okay. So what's going on in that episode is this, right? You got Doctor Who, man, and you got Rose, man. Who was it? Mose was Martha. Anyway, they end up on this planet where everybody's basically stuck in this endless thing of a traffic jam. That's what's going on. They can't go nowhere, and they just in their vehicles stuck in this traffic jam forever. Now, let's talk about that because it was some things I was thinking about when I was watching the episode. By the way, great episode. You got to check it out. It's one of the better of the Doctor Who episodes from that time. Now, but here's the thing. So let's just talk about the small things. So you in traffic, all right? First of all, it's got to be some kind of word of mouth that it's taking forever to get in traffic and go to that city, right? But people still getting in traffic. You'll think they'd be like, man, let's just walk. Maybe fly. Look, let's do something else, right? But if we must get in the traffic, right? There's some things that we got to consider. Okay, first of all, gas. Now, I don't know if they said in the episode that these cars ran on some type of nuclear fission or something like that, but you still don't need material. But Trek Canyon, they got their own materials. They got their waste. They got their biological waste. Oh, okay. So let's say, for instance, that they was using biological waste to power the cars that was right here. Okay, let's talk about some other things. Let's talk about some other things. One, what happened to the people like that went missing that was on this thing that was in this traffic jam? When I say went missing, I'm talking about from the crabs that was down at the bottom. Also, that was the speed lane. That means that if you had enough people in your vehicle, you could jump in the speed lane. But it was people that was still stuck in traffic that had kittens and families and all that kind of stuff. They met the requirement. Why didn't they just go down there? But then you think to yourself, okay, maybe they knew about the crabs, but I don't think they knew about the crabs, right? I don't. And then this must have been the most peaceful, serene planet ever. Like the people had to be the most serene people ever because I know some people who can't get in a 30-minute traffic thing and not lose their like just straight up road raging. Like, okay, it would have been more realistic in that episode, right? If they had just ever so often they had somebody no just start ramming other cars, man, just zoom. That would be more realistic. Other thing. What was so important about that city that they was going to that they was willing to spend decades inside of a vehicle, man? Like, okay, and where was the cops? Because that's again the people that came up missing. You would think that they would have had some cops that was stuck in the traffic jam too. And but look, it was a whole lot going on in this episode. But those are some of the things that I want to talk about now. So let's move on to Star Trek because let's move from Star Trek. So it was this episode called Realm of Fear, right, from the Next Generation. And look, this episode, right? Okay, first of all, when Star Trek came on TV, they rarely ever showed this episode, probably because of how crazy it was. But let's talk about it. So what's going on in that episode is basically they go and rescue some people that came up missing, some Starfleet personnel. Man, Barkley is one of the people. He don't like transporters and everything. Come to find out, he's starting to see stuff in the transporter, and we don't know what it is. So it's a mystery about what's going on in the transporter. But look, let me tell you what that episode opened up. See, because here's the thing. According to that episode, being in the transporter beam puts you in a whole nother dimension. It puts you into another dimension. Why do I say that? Because those people existed there in the transporter beam and they were there, right? They were lost in there, which means that that's a place. That's an actual place. They weren't in no buffers, none of that. They was in the transporter beam existing as things that Barkley thought was worms. Why did they appear as worms? Well, look, let me tell you something. So I was having a conversation, right? And we was talking about the inconsistencies in this episode. And we was like, okay, hold up. First of all, how can you see in a transporter beam? Because you basically broken down into molecular, like your smallest constituents, and turned into energy. So how are you seeing anything, right? You're not supposed to see anything. Second, how's things floating around? It's looking, like it's a solid something inside this realm. You know what I mean? Like you would think that you probably just see some, even if you did see some stuff, it'd just be like some floating like particles. Anyway, another thing, how did Berkeley grab people in the transporter? He wasn't the only person who did it. Worf did. They went in the transporter and started grabbing people out the transporter. Now, again, when you inside the transporter being, you not solid, man. You like particles just existing. How are you grabbing particles and coming out with full people, like not missing no body parts, nothing? You just grabbing people while you don't have nobody. You just going there grabbing people. Now that being said, the episode Relics, right? When Scotty put himself and I think two other people inside the transporter buffer, right? Were they in that realm? I don't think so, because Scotty never mentioned none of that. And Scotty didn't grab none of his homies and bring them out. Matter of fact, why didn't those people that was in the episode Realm of Fear, why didn't they have any degrading? Yeah, they didn't spend 80-something years in it. But anyway. So somebody had a really good response to the whole little Barkley thing, right? See, because Realm of Fear, I think that was a season 6 episode, and the episode The Nth Degree, and I know people already know where I'm going with this. The Nth Degree was like in the 4th season, right? So we know that Barkley left with some of those high speed, advanced, ascended abilities, right? Maybe that gave him the ability to do the stuff that he was doing in that episode Realm of Fear, right? But I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. So anyway, this was, I think, my first. I think I'll leave it right there before I start going into a true rant. But this is the first episode of, I'm going to just call it Trek Consistent. Trek Inconsistent. Inconsistent Trek. Inconsistent track. Yeah, inconsistent track. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do inconsistent track. This is the first episode of inconsistent track. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know if I just totally missed something in my rant of inconsistencies when it came to Gridlock from Doctor Who, and when it came to the episode Realm of Fear from Star Trek The Next Generation. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And as always, peace, recycle, and save the whales. You guys be cool. That's what I'm talking about. So